who are you responsible to on that job? Everybody has got a boss. Somebody sang a song. I don't know whether it was Sarkodie or something. They said, Obiane ni master. But before crown or master. In fact, I'm not good at the tree, but the witches even have their master. So that's just by the way. Everyone has got a master on the job. So who are you responsible to? Who is your boss? The letter is supposed to state who your job master is. Hello everyone, welcome to the first edition of the HR Corner right here on the G Concept. And your host is Gloria Dodunu. I bring you all HR related issues, and today we want to look at appointment letters. What is an appointment letter, and what's the importance of having an appointment letter? As an employee, what's the importance of an appointment letter to both the employee and then the employer? So that's what we are coming to look at in today's HR Corner. Now, first of all, what is an appointment letter? Appointment letter is a document that spells out your terms and conditions on the job that you are being offered. And before I continue with further explanations, let me give you an explanation to what the difference is between an appointment letter and that of an offer letter. Now, an offer letter precedes an appointment letter. After you have seen a job advertisement and then you decide to apply for it and you were picked for the interview and you've gone through all the processes that there is and you are picked or you are shortlisted for the job, for you to know that you have been picked for that job, you are given an offer. You are given an offer. So the offer letter actually spells out the fact that we are giving you this offer to this position with the salary. The salary is stated in the offer letter. In order for you to know that, okay, this is how much or this is what I am going in for. And then some terms and conditions are also spelled out in the offer letter. But when it comes to the appointment letter, before you are given the appointment letter, the offer letter needs to first of all be given to you and you need to accept it. So you realize that in the offer letter, you are asked to indicate your acceptance of the offer. And sometimes you are even given a timeline or a deadline to which you must respond or affirm to the offer letter. So that's the offer letter for you. Now, let's go to the appointment letter. Let's go back to what I started with, what we are discussing. I just wanted to give you an intro to what I'm coming to do so you understand and you don't get yourself confused. Now, with the appointment letter, it comes after you have accepted the offer and then you are given the appointment. So the appointment now is now stating details of what you are expected to do on the job and then what your conditions of services are going to be. Now, to let you understand more, let me take you through some of the things that are supposed to be in the appointment letter. First of all, your appointment letter states your salary. Like I stated, the salary is very important, we are working for the money, yes, though we work with passion, but you need the money as well to keep body and soul together. And then it states your salary, as in how much you are expected to take and at what particular time. Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it twice in a week? Whatever it is, it has to be stated in the appointment letter. Now, apart from that, you also have your allowances. If you have any other allowances attached to your job aside your salary, you see it in the appointment letter. And then your SSNIT contribution, how much the company is expected to contribute as out of your salary. You are supposed to contribute a percentage of your salary, your income, to Social Security and National Insurance Trust. So that's SSNIT, and it's supposed to also be stated in your letter of appointment. And then with this SSNIT, now we have both the tier 1 and then the tier 2, who are the fund managers. So the fund managers, every company, every organization has got his or her own fund manager. So all these are supposed to be spelled out in your appointment letter. I don't want to go deep into this because These are topics to be discussed on their own. And if I want to go into it, we will lose the value of the discussion. That is the topic of discussion today, which is appointment letter. So let's just be brief on it. Okay, so the appointment letter, the first thing you are expected to see your salary, your allowances, your slate contributions, and then if any taxes that are supposed to pay, taxes to government and what have you, is supposed to be stated in your appointment letter. Now, the second thing that is supposed to be, you are expected to see. In fact, let me issue a disclaimer here. I'm not saying they are supposed to be stated chronologically as I am saying it, but all these components are supposed to be part of an appointment letter. So let's go to the second one, your work hours. How many hours are you supposed to work? Are you running a shift system? Are you doing 8 hours? How many hours are you supposed to work? It should be stated in your letter, the appointment letter. Whatever time you're supposed to start and what time you're supposed to go on break and the time you're supposed to go home, as in your closing time, all are supposed to be clearly stated in your appointment letter. Now, your responsibilities, as in job responsibilities that you are expected or supposed to do on the job that you are being employed or recruited to do, is also supposed to be stated in your appointment letter. And most of the time, because the job descriptions are documents on their own, what we do is to attach the documents to the appointment letters instead of maybe just infusing or fusing them together with the appointment letter. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to have your job description attached to your appointment letter. That's the most important part. Now, let's go to item number 4, right? Yes, your term of probation. Everyone is supposed to serve a term of probation. When you are employed onto a job or you take up a new task, you are expected to be put on probation. Probation simply means that you are put on a test. You are being tested to see your capabilities on the job. You've gone for the interview, you have passed your interview, all right, and now you are going to do the job. You have been given an offer, you've accepted it, you've been given an appointment, and you are supposed to serve for some time. And this one, it varies from company to company, organization to organization, institution to institution. They determine, their HR manual determines how many months they choose to make their staff or their employees serve on a probation. So in all, you are supposed to have a probation term stated clearly in your letter that it means so and so you have been employed, and then your probation, you are going to be put on probation for 6 months, for 1 year, for 3 months, and that is how it is. So you are clear about it. I'm on probation. At the end of the day, the probationary assessment is supposed to be done for you, and I don't want to go into that one too. Let's carry on. We'll come to that one as well. Now, are you entitled to any leaves on your job? According to the labor law, no one can work without taking a leave. When you work continuously for 12 months, you are supposed to take your leave. So you are entitled to leave. But how many days entitlements do you have as an employee? This is what the appointment letter is supposed to state for you. Now, another thing, that's item number 6, is your immediate boss, your next in command. Who are you responsible to on that job? Everybody has got a boss. Somebody sang a song. I don't know whether it was Sarkodie or something. They said, Obiane ni master. Before crown or master. In fact, I'm not good at the tree, but the witches even have their master. So that's just by the way. Everyone has got a master on the job. So who are you responsible to? Who is your boss? The letter is supposed to state who your job master is, who you are supposed to be accountable, who you are supposed to be responsible to on that appointment letter for you. Now, another thing, number 7, is termination. Termination of appointments, as in reasons or conditions for your job or your service to be terminated on the job, or reasons for which you are supposed to be dismissed. Maybe you are dismissed for certain things. You can't be dismissed. It doesn't mean when you get a job, it's forever. It's like you cannot be dismissed. No. So your job is supposed to tell you your appointment letter is supposed to indicate your terms, as in what you are supposed to do before your job gets terminated or you are dismissed out of the job. And then sometimes too, you are supposed to know the conditions that you are supposed to satisfy when you even want to exit the job. So all these are supposed to be stated. And then also you have, depending on the level you find yourself, you are supposed to have some confidentiality on the job. And all these are supposed to be stated in your appointment letter. Item number 8, I made it other conditions of service. There are certain things that I haven't mentioned here that may be applicable to certain organizations or institutions, and they will want you to know about it. Let's say I have been in the non-governmental organization before, and there's this thing about them. They are so keen about child rights, women's rights, the right people. So they have a document that will tell you that you need to sign. You have to read it and agree and sign to these policies that yes, you agree that you are going to respect the rights of children, maybe the rights of women, the rights of the vulnerable, the disabled, depending on which policy it may be, while serving on your job. So this is also one of the conditions that can be stated in your appointment letters for you to understand what you are really going into and what you are expected to do. And the last thing that you see normally in an appointment letter is it tells you to indicate your acceptance. As in, if you agree to everything you have read there, though you have already accepted the offer, now we are giving you an appointment on the job. Do you agree to it? If you agree to it, then you accept the position. And by so doing, you write a letter to respond to the appointment letter that you have been given, to show that yes, I'm on board, I have accepted all the conditions, I'm ready to play my part. So this is all about the appointment letters for you. Now, what is the importance of having an appointment letter? What happens is that if you do not have an appointment letter, it means you do not have any contract with your employer. There is no terms of contract between you. There is no agreement between you. And so, as an employee, it is at your own risk. You work in a company or an organization without taking an appointment letter from that organization. Number 2, it actually spells out your terms and conditions. Like I stated, some of the terms and conditions that I stated, it actually spells them out for you to know what you are going in for. If you really want to go into this, then you go into it. So if you don't want to go into it, you just opt out at that preliminary stage instead of maybe wanting to accept it. So it spells it out for you and becomes a binding agreement, like I said, between an employer and an employee. It holds you together. You do your part and I also do my part. And in that case, I can also use an example of the salary where you were given an appointment letter where the salary is mentioned. And however, you start your job and the salaries you are expected to have is not being given to you. So you have a proof, you have an agreement that shows that yes, I was given this job, I was supposed to be paid this amount of money, and yet this is the amount you pay me. It is contrary to the agreement we have. So your appointment letter then becomes your savior, a binding agreement, a proof of that particular claim you want to make. So there are lots of benefits of letters of appointment that everyone is supposed to know. But then I just want, for the sake of time, I just want to, let me just leave it over here. There is so much to know about it. But then I want to leave this particular episode with a piece of advice for everyone. If you are picking up a job, ensure to have your appointment letters. Do not say, I can start a job without any letter. Maybe later they will give it to me, because you'll be abused. You'll be abused whenever you do not have your appointment letter before starting your job. Because at that point, when you are being abused at work, when things do not go on right, you have no letter to hold anybody to it, and you cannot take this to the law. You cannot even prove yourself. You have no legal backing. So you need to have your appointment letter at all given times. No matter how juicy it seems like, no matter how desperate you seem to need a job, I urge you to get an appointment letter before you start that job. So I hope you have enjoyed yourself on this segment. Until I come your way again, stay blessed and bye bye.